Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a slightly different look at a Katsu list, just for something for fun post Worlds for you to mess around with. Something I've been messing with just, at a casual level and trying to have just a different look in between this kind of lull period we have between Worlds and heavy hitters, and just kind of give you something fun to have for the next couple of months. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. If you're a long-staying supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out the Patreon and Discord down below. Our spoiler comes out tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun one. It's already pre-scheduled, so you can see it on my channel, so you can hit the notify me. It will let you know when it goes live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. And yeah, we'll get right into it. So first off, for all my American friends, happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving at the time of recording this. Wanted to put out a quick video today just for something that's fun. But I wanted to thank everybody for all the support on the channel. I know it sounds like a broken record with a lot of YouTubers, but it's been really great. This last 3 months has been insane. We've been doing a lot of content, had a lot of success on the channel, and honestly, a lot of what I like about how this channel's done with people commenting, for the most part, is there's been a lot of positivity, even in a time frame where there has been some negative opinions on like the state of the game with the meta and all that other stuff. This channel stayed pretty positive, and the Discord specifically has stayed insanely positive. To have over 450 members and not really have anybody trolling or doing anything or discrediting people's opinions, it's really important to me, so I really thank y'all for that. But yeah, we'll get right into it. This is a Snapdragon Scalers list, so I haven't played Snaps in a while. I've been a very big proponent of Breeze Rider Boots. In a nutshell, I still think Breeze Rider Boots is the best. But the thing I like about Katsu is you can get... What I've noticed after playing Katsu now for literally years is that one of the biggest things you can do at any level, whether you're playing some of the best or whether you're just playing at a casual armory, is giving your opponent chances to make a mistake, right? One of the biggest things about Katsu, one thing I always used to hear before I played in the calling, I had played like really quality players, played some really good players, right? We have Brody Spurlock in the area and a bunch of other good players, but I hadn't played it in a big tournament setting. And the one thing I always heard was, well, in a big tournament, once you get to the highest level, like people know how to block Katsu, which I don't 100% agree with. I saw people at the highest level when I was at top tables in the calling make the same mistakes that I've seen at armories. But to here nor there, the one thing I want to say is about Katsu is that if you can set up the game to where you're constantly making them make the decision of, should I block, shouldn't I block? What could he possibly have? What does he not have? Like all these decision makings. And the one thing about the bonds list is it's really like when you have a heavily focused bonds list, it greatly increased the consistency of Katsu, but it also decreased the decision points, in my opinion, because people know now that most lists are running anywhere from 4 to 5 Bonds of Ancestry, 4 to 5 Descendant Gust Waves, 6 Surging Strikes, Whelmings. Like, yes, they have to make a decision point of do they have the combo in their hand or not, but when you get into the mid and late game, it gets really a lot easier for them to understand like what you could have in your hand and what you do have in your hand because of your graveyard and your banister and stuff like that. So one thing I wanted to do, and not to say it's a negative, it's still an insanely strong list. It just got top 8, right? The Art of War list at World Championship, but I think it's kind of cool to set up a list where you're constantly giving your opponent a different look while also giving them a key decision point, right? It's like, for anyone in here that plays sports, it's like a really good football team or basketball team that constantly is running a different play every time they play offense. And you're like, okay, I can't get a pattern recognition here. I can't figure out what they're doing because they're always changing things up, right? It's like a really good football team that constantly is switching between run and pass. It's like that. So with this list, I wanted to be able to do that. So it's a Snapdragon even bigger than that list. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give my opponent a bunch of different looks at the same time while also not decreasing consistency. Because the one thing you can do if you run too many combo lines is you decrease consistency. So for this, what I'm looking at first is I'm trying to play off even bigger than that to get draw power and get go again and things like that. Using even bigger than that when combined with cards like Enlightened Strike and Snatch can get really, really good really fast, right? Bringing Snatch back in the list is also really nice. It's another on hit that they have to respect. And we also have 3 of Razor, 3 of Ancestral Empowerment. So when it comes to starters, we're running what you're used to seeing in a bonds list. We're still running Be Like Waters. We're still running Descendant Gust Waves. We're still running Surging Strikes out of 3 of, right? So we have 9 starters right there. Then we're also running Head Jab, just a good 0 for 3, just like Phi. Like sometimes just a good 0 for 3 is a good one. We're running 100 Wins, and we're running Leg Tap, right? That is 18 starters right there. And that's already more than you see in most Katsu lists. Not only that, we're also running Lightning Strike, which you can technically use as a pseudo go again. And then we're also running like conditional go again cards like Soul Bead Strike. So we have a lot of go again in the deck, a lot of not trying to lose a lot of consistency in the deck. And what we're trying to do is like one turn may be a Surging Strike line. The next turn's Leg Tap. The next turn's 100 Wins, right? The next turn's an even bigger than that into Snatch. You know, the next turn, so on and so forth. So we're trying to really keep that consistency. I'm going to hone this list in a little bit more. But what I'm trying to do is just like an all gas, no brakes list. At Blues, we're running Whelming Gust Wave just for synergy with that line. We're running Conceal Blade because it's a blue block 3 that also gives +1 to our attacks. It's basically a blue block 3 lunging press in our deck. Dishonor for the obvious reasons. Lord of Wind, we're running 2 McGinty in the list for decks that are really good at blocking, like Bravo and other like really high block decks that, you know, want to block you. Winds of Eternity for 100 Wins. And then at the Leg Tap line, we're running 1 Hurricane Technique and 1 Blackout Kick. Now, you could only run one of these, honestly. I just love the line, so I'm running both. But for me, I think this is a really cool list because if you look at it, there's not a lot of dead cards, right? Like when we talk about dead cards, I mean like cards you can't start with and you can't do much in like combo into a whole lot. The only dead cards we have in hand, really, if you don't count Ancestrals, is 1 Blackout Kick could be, Bonds of Ancestry could be, that's 4, right? Razor if you have too many of them, but that's a conditional dead card. 7, 9, you know, we don't have a whole lot, like less than 15, because your blues are used for Kodachis. So trying to keep that consistency high while also giving your opponent a ton of different looks, just like a good offense in football, and constantly switch between combo lines. One thing you could do in this list, you could take out like the Soul Bead Strikes and maybe like 1 Razor and add in 3 Surgings, 3 yellow Surgings, just to have a little bit more of that really strong line. I don't think that's an issue at all. Could do that for sure. I'm just trying to make the most use out of my Razor Reflexes as well and have a lot of 0 cost density in order to discard for Katsu. But it's just like the old school Snapdragon, even bigger than that list, where you're trying to, you know, use that back in like the Chain Starver meta to race down Chain. I think that this list can definitely be played. Whether it's better or not than the Bonds list, I don't know. I don't think so in a nutshell, but it could be, right? It depends on the pilot. And you could just really throw your opponent off, right? Like if turn 1, turn 2, you throw out Leg Tap and then you throw out Head Jab, your opponent's going to be like, what the? Like they're going to be so thrown off, right? So I think it's a really fun list. Definitely give it a shot. This isn't like a standard, like, you know, this is my list going into X meta deck tech. This is more just something fun to do post Worlds. I think this is the time to experiment. As if you're a Ninja player, try a bunch of different things. You can just like take the file list that one and play it, and that's totally fine. But I think also like messing around with these different lists will be really cool. This is also similar to like the Breakpoint Katsu list that I had that I got top 8 with ProQuest during the Starvo meta on. Like being able to like just give your opponent a lot of breakpoint attacks to make them a little bit nervous is really good. You could even take out like, you know, the head jabs and put Torn and Tempo in if you wanted to, just to kind of give a little bit more of that breakpoint style. In the sideboard, have Command and Conquer. A lot of heroes care about their arsenal right now. It's really good. Obviously, it's a popper and a Dromai. Flick Flack for the aggressive matchups if you really think you need it. Sink Below for stuff like Bravo, and then the 2 McGinchys, which I normally put in against cards like Bravo, Arachne, Uziri, stuff like that. It's really, really good. So overall, don't have exactly a sideboard matchup guide for it, but I think it's really good. I run Tunic in the stuff that's not hyper aggro. Basically, Heart and Cross Trap comes in for Phi, the Mirror, Dash IO. Let's see what other aggro decks are in the format right now. Like those are the main ones. Reinhardt will come in for, but most everything else, and Kano, but most everything else will be Tunic. But yeah, definitely give it a look. I think it's really fun. It's a really different list. It also owes back to another list that was working with Katsu for a little bit. Kind of a fun one. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the list. Have some fun with it. If you're one of my American friends, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully y'all have a good holiday. For everybody else around the world, stay safe, have a good weekend, and I will see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you aren't already. If you've watched a couple of videos of the channel and you're not subbed and you think it's worth it, definitely give it a shot. If not, it's totally fine. Go to Nerd Creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. We're close to 3K subs. We should hit it by the end of the year if we keep pace. So thank you all so much for that. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time.